Hello everyone, welcome to OpenInterest Plus. So this is a short video where I will walk you through the features that are available in the OpenInterest Plus application. And before moving into the application, I just like to talk about a little bit about me. Uh, like most of you, I'm also a retail trader, and I had started trading in cash segment. Then over the last few years, I've been exploring and trying my hands at trading. And during the initial trade days, I did face hurdles and was unsuccessful. So mostly due to this was mostly due to lack of information about the derivative data, which I didn't have at that point of time. Then I started looking at and diving deep into the derivative data. From there, I started focusing especially on the OI data, and over the last I would say 2 to 3 years, I've been working on interpreting the OI data. Uh, and from there the journey of automation and simplifying the OI data started. So initially during my initial periods I started working on the Excel based application, and I found out that it was working. And then I found out that the Excel had its own limitation. Then I decided that I'll create a web based application. So today the web-based application is ready. I have tested and I've been using this for a while, and I just wanted to extend the benefits what I use to my peer retail traders. So this was just a brief introduction about me. And next, looking next let's look at the goal. My When I say goal, my goal is to make the retail traders successful in index trading. To achieve this, we'll be using the web-based OpenInterest Plus tool which I have developed, and this will help us to stay ahead of the competition and make our trades successful. So next we'll look at the features and the benefits that is available in the OpenInterest Plus applications. So before jumping into the features that is available, I just like to talk about like why OpenInterest Plus application. Why do we need this application when there are plenty of other information available, data available from the NSE website? The reason being is very simple. So when we look at the options market, be it call option or put option, the price movement uh, generally reflects whether there is a buying activity happening or the selling activity happening on the options side. But most of the retail traders, what do we do? We look at the index movement. If it is bullish, then we go ahead and buy the at the money call. Or if it is a bearish, if the index is bearish, then we look at the put option and start buying the put option. So this is generally what the mindset what we have. So in addition to just buying the call or the put option, what we do is we add some technical indicators, and we try to catch the momentum. But most of the time what generally happens is we get trapped when we start looking at the um, price movement. We think that it will go further up, and we will get trapped, and it badly ends up into a loss trade. So to be really successful and consistent option trader, we also need to look at some other key parameters of aspects that is available in the derivative market. So we need to look at the volume, and along with that, open interest data. So these are two key factors what I have figured out in the last few years, that we need to look at. And if you're able to decode and interpret this in the live market, when I say decode in the live market, we should not be spending more time in just looking at OI calculation, then interpreting what does it stand, how does it where is the resistance, where is the support. We should be able to get a picture of what is happening based on the OI data. So this will this will help us to make a successful and informed trader. So these are the 2 points. Generally in a live market, it is critical that we have to interpret the OI data I'll with along with other information and come out with a useful analysis. So this is where the OpenInterest Plus tool or the application helps us to interpret and decode the OI data in multiple time frame. When I say multiple time frame, it in a time frame of like 5 minute interval, what is happening in the OI data, in 15-minute interval, what is happening in the OI data, or the 60-minute interval, what is happening in the OI data. So we'll be able to interpret the OI data in multi time frame. So with just one quick glance, we'll be able to identify what is happening in the future and option market, and this will help us to make a trade decision. Um, so okay, so that was about like why should we using the open interest. And on this table, if you look at, I have four major categories. One is the heat map, the global dashboard, future, and options. So these are some of the features that I have built into the application. The first is the heat map. Under heat map, we have the stock futures heat map, and then we have the sectoral heat map. So we'll be looking at each of this in the coming slides. I just want to talk about like what are the features available right now. Then we have the global dashboard, and thirdly we have the futures options. So under future options, over a period of time I built a lot of features. Like the first one is the futures OI buildup. Then we have the OI buildup dashboard. So this is fairly new. I had added this feature today on 17th of May. And then we have the futures OI analysis option. Then we have the futures OI chart, which is basically the OI analysis in the graphical format. And the last option is the magic level chart. There's a specific reason why I call it as magic level chart. I'll be talking about that in once we move on to that section. So then next, the fourth option is the options category. So under options category, currently I have four major categories. One is the options OI split, and then we have the options OI trend, and we have options OI analysis, and the options OI chart. So moving further into the slides, there is a disclaimer that I want to call out, because derivative market, basically the future and option market, is a challenging area to trade in. So I would expect the my fellow retail traders to have at least basic information or the basic knowledge about on the FNO market, and should have at least traded in this segment for last six months to 1 year, so that this tool will supplement your existing trades what you're performing in the FNO segment, right? So that is the disclaimer that I want to call out, and that's the reason I have highlighted here in the bold red. We also need the reason why I'm talking about derivative market is like derivative market is a risky. We need to have we need to take calculated trade. We need to know about risk appetite, and also the challenges involved into the derivative market, right? So I think next we'll move into the uh, uh, each of the section. But before that, I'll just quickly walk through the what is open interest, and I'm not going to deep dive into what is open interest, but what does the open interest interpretation means, basically those segments. Like I mentioned earlier, we need to have basic knowledge about future and option. One such good website I would recommend is Zerota University, where we can learn about FNO options and future and options market. But again, like on this slide, I'll just explain about the OI data interpretation and classification. So basically, when we say there is an increasing or the increase in open interest, so generally that means new positions are being created and more money is flowing into the system. When we say increasing open interest, more money is flowing into system, and either the existing trend can be the existing trend can be an uptrend or downtrend, or it could be a sideways. So this is what just the increase in open interest means. and the same time there is another uh, side which is called declining open interest. So basically this means liquidation, and the prevailing price trend will come to an end. So basically if the trend is uptrend, and if we say if we see that there is a decline in the open interest, then the existing trend will over a period of time will come to an end. Basically it will reverse. So that's the reason open interest provides us a lead indication of the upcoming change in trend. So this is about increasing open interest and decreasing open interest. So when we talk about open interest, it has to be seen along with another key factor, which is the price. Okay, so on this tabular column we can see that there are two important parameters. One is the OI and the other is the price. So within the OI we have seen that there is there are two options. One is increasing open interest or declining open interest. So we will combine that piece of information along with the price parameter. So looking at the first one, so if there is an increase in open interest along with there is an increase in price, so that point of time we say that the how we interpret the open interest as long build up, or basically bullish. Next comes that if there is a decrease in open interest, and at the same time there is an increase in price, basically what is happening is that the people who are shorted, they are covering the position, and it's called short covering. So this is again another sign of bullish trend. Next comes the I'll talk about the next comes about there is a decrease in open interest. At the same time there is a decrease in price. Basically what is happening is the price is not moving up, at the same time the open interest is also not moving up. So what generally is happening is the longs are unwinding, or they are closing out their positions. So this is something which we have to be careful when the prices are generally when do we see this is something which when the prices are going up, when there is an increase in open interest, and at the same time when there is an increase in price, so there is a long build up and the price continues to push further up. At one point of time the participants who had built up the long build up, they'll try to book their profits, so they will unwind their long position. That is where the long unwinding generally comes into picture. The last option is there is an increase in open interest, but what generally happens to price is there is a decrease in price. So what is happening is that participants are actually shorting the instrument. It can be either futures, it can be a call option or put option. So basically they are shorting the particular instrument, and that is the reason the prices are further fueling, it is coming down. And whereas the increase, we can see that there is an increase in open interest. So these are the four interpretation or the four outcome of open interest when we combine that along with the price. So open interest has to be seen along with the price factor, and that is how we will be able to interpret it. So this is one of the feature which the open interest tool is completely designed or based on this, and it will help us to decode. So we don't have to look at the price factor, we don't have to look at the open interest and try to understand. So the tool will help us to decode this information along with other useful information, and help us to take the trade, either take up a fresh trade, or continue the trade, or close the trade. So it will help us to make it will help us to take decision in taking a meaningful trades, right? So this is about the interpretation of the open interest. So next on the next few slides we have the features. If you remember from the earlier slide, we spoke about the four categories. That was the heat map, global dashboard, futures, and options. We'll be looking at that. So just before jumping into that, so this is how the home page OpenInterestPlus.com looks like. So this is the home page, And on the home page we have multiple options like the pricing, we have the support, we have the blog, we have the about, contact us, sign in, sign up, and we also have an option to new provision where you can enroll your email option for a newsletter subscription. So this is the home page of the openinterestplus.com. So once you visit the openinterestplus.com, you can click on the sign up page, and you can create a new account. So this is how the sign up page or the new user account page looks like. So you will have to provide in your details like the first name, last name, email address, and you'll have to agree to the terms and condition and click on create accounts. So once you perform this step, you will receive an email for activation of your account, and once your email address is activated, validated, you will be able to sign into the OpenInterest Plus web applications using the same email address that you had provided and the password. That there is also provision we have provided, like in case you forget a password, you can just select the option called forget password, and you can you can key in the email address that you had provided. All right, from here let me quickly try to take you to the live website, so it will be much useful, easier to explain the features. So this is the home page what we have just seen in the slides. So here is the email address for email subscription. Once you subscribe here, we will be sending about promotion articles and all those things. So that's the option to subscribe. And this is the sign up page which we have already seen. So once you click on sign in, and once you have entered your credentials, you will be greeted with this default global dashboard page. When I say default global dashboard page, this is the landing page, and here we have some key useful information. So what I've done here is, like, when I started trading in especially in index, it was equally important for me to look at what is US market what is US market doing at that moment, what is the UK market doing at that moment. So at over a period of time, I also realized that it is equally important to see the US 10-year bond yield rate, how is it performing, and also keep a tab on the India VIX. So I thought, let me come up with a simple page. So this page is designed in such a way that we have the charts of US market, UK market, US 10-year bond, India VIX, and if you scroll down below, you have the Bank Nifty future, you have the SGX Nifty future index, and also I've included USD INR currency pair and the crude oil. So there are 8 chart which is updated from investing.com, and it gives you a one page quick glance of key index and parameter what is happening at the moment. So at any time, if you want to look at, you can go to this option from the navigation global dashboard, and this page will get populated or updated. The chart will get updated with the relevant information. So this is about the global dashboard. But once you create a new account, when you are a new user, by default there is no plan which is activated. So if you click on any of the options from the navigation menu, you will get a message stating that there is no active plan. So what you'll have to do is, you'll have to click on either go to navigate to plan page, or you can go to my payment. Under my payment, you can click on pay now. So under pay now, right now I have just activated one plan which is called trial pack, and this trial pack will give you access for 15 days. You'll be able to use the system for 15 complete days, and there is a small cost where what I've attached here. This is to avoid abuse of the system, because if you provide any system at a zero cost, generally what happens is, like, hundreds of users start creating an account and they generally don't use it. So I've just kept a nominal fee of 25 rupees. So you'll have to click on this pay with Stripe button. So we have partnership with Stripe. Stripe is a number one US based payment gateway, and they are also now in India. So once you make the payment, your default plan, which is the trial pack, which will get activated, and all this options will be enabled for you. So this is about the plan selection page. Now let me quickly walk once you have a plan activated, you will be able to access the rest of the system from the navigation menu. So the first option what we have, okay, before quickly jumping into before jumping into the options what we have, I would like to talk about the important support system what we have built into system. Basically the um support ticket or the ticketing system. So when you click on the ticketing system, you will have an option to create new ticket. So if you have any challenges, be it a payment related, technical related, sales, subscription, or any other problem, you can choose here, type in a subject, and you can describe your issue or the problem what you're facing, and you can click on the submit button. So once you have submitted, I will receive that notification. I look at your ticket that you have raised, and I'll try to respond. So that's the reason I would suggest to key in all your provide all the right information, like the right email address and telephone number, so that if required, I'll be able to reach and provide the support, relevant support. So that was about the ticketing system that is already built into system. And there is an option to what you call update to profile page. So you can click on from the top navigation, you have option to change, either you have option to change password. You can click on my profile, and you can key in your information. You can change the time zone, the currency, you can I would suggest you to update the address, phone number, so that we have the right information about our participant. Basically like a KYC system. So next, we have the sector heat map from the navigation. Once you click on the sector heat map, so the sector heat map page will load up, and basically this sector heat map will give us a sentiment of whether there is buying, whether the sentiment is on the buying side or selling side of the entire market. So for this sector heat map is of 17th, and as you can see that everything is in green. So basically today all the sectors as well as all the stocks had performed really well, and that's the one quick snapshot what we can get from the sector heat map. So when I started trading, it was difficult to understand how are the sector or how are the different sector have performed in the last 15 minutes or last 1 hour. So I came up with an idea. So on top you will have the latest snapshot of the sector, and just below that you will have from the current time, 15 minutes before 15 minutes before the current time, you will have that snapshot as well. So you can get a quick you can do a quick comparison of how each of the sector had actually performed. So for example, at 3:15, bank Nifty bank was at 3.94 percentage, whereas at close of market it was at 4.06 percentage. So you get a comparison, and likewise I have, if you scroll further down, so you have the snapshot of how the sector had performed at 3 o'clock. And if you go further down, this is the last, so you have the snapshot of 2:30. So you can get a quick comparison. For example, at 2:30 Nifty bank was at 3.44 percentage, and by close of market it was 4.06. So likewise, for example, if you look at Nifty metal, by close of market it was 2.57 and 2.57, and around 2:30, that is an hour before, it was at 1.76. So you can see the transition of how each sector happened in the last 1 hour. So this is a snapshot as well as a comparison in the different time interval from the current time. So this is the sector heat map, and it actually helps me. So for example, if you come at uh, 3:15 and you want to see what has happened in the 15 minutes before, you get a compare, you can quickly compare and see that how the each of the sector had been performing. So this is about the sector heat map. So on this heat map, we have the given the option of live data, historical data, and you have an option to select the instrument. So if you select the bank stock and click on submit, you will have all the heat map of the banking stock here, and you can do a quick comparison of like how the stocks had performed. So at 3:30, 3:15 or 3 o'clock, or until 2:30. So in case you want to look at other than the bank stock, if you want to look at the other stock future, you can click on that, and again you will have the heat map. So for example, if you look at today bank base, especially the banking as well as the finance stocks were performing really well, so they were here. And we also did from the sector heat map, we did say that the metal sectors were also performing well. So we have Hindalco here, so Hindalco, Tata Steel, all those things, JSW Steel here. So this is about the heat map, and there is a provision what I have given for heat, here is by default the data is for the live data, which is the current day data. But in case you want to look at the past data, you can click on historical data, and you can choose what you want to see, and you can choose the date for which you want to look at the data. And once you click on that, the page will refresh with the for the selected date. So this is about the heat map, and then next we will move to the most interesting, which is the future sections. Under future, first we have the future OI buildup. Uh, what we have done here is we have segregated the stocks into four classification, basically into the four quadrant. We'll say like long buildup, short buildup, then we have short covering, and then we have long unwinding. So these are the four quadrants which we have built here, and based on the stock price movement as well as the open interest data, the stock will be classified into one of these quadrants. So you can see that total of 70 stocks were bullish, and they were under long build-up, and 31 stocks were under short build-ups. So this quickly gives us a comparison of like how the split of the stocks were performing. So by default 15 stocks are displayed here. In case you want to look at more than 15, you can click on 25, you will have 25. Or let's say you want to look at all the available list, you can click on all, and the data will be displayed. You have that there is a provision to sort by you can click on the headers. So the headers what we have is the previous day OI, this is the latest OI, which is the current day OI, this is the change in OI data, and this is the OI change percentage, and this is LTP change, and this is LTP, this is net change, and this is the volume. So you can sort on based on like whatever you are looking at, whatever information you want to look at, so you can sort on that. So generally I by default when you click on future OI buildup, it is sorted on price, and then it is sorted on the OI change percent. So the basically the top 5 is something which you can keep it in your watch list, and look at long buildup, especially when there are more number of stocks under the long buildup. So you can look at stocks for buying, and if there are more number of stocks under short buildup, you can look at for shorting. So here if you look at Bharti Airtel, L&T, ICICI Prudential, emphasis is got these were under the short buildup, and these were Balakrishna Industry, Indus Bank, SBI, Muthoot Finance, RBL, Motherson, all these were under long buildup. So just this will give us the split or the classification of stocks into the each of this quadrant. Below we have short covering as well as long unwinding. But it is important, what is important is that when we look at certain data or certain data aspect, we will have to supplement that along with some other for example, you would have your own trade setup. So you will have to look at that, and then you will have to make a decision. For example, let's say Balakrishna Industry and Indus Bank are featuring here, and I decide, and if we decide that I want to take a long position here, so what we'll have to do is we will have to go to the future OI analysis. So let me open this into a new tab. Yeah. Okay, before coming that, let me cover up future OI built up dashboard. So this is a fairly new feature that was added today. This is a dashboard or a tracker, we can say. And what we saw in the OI built up here is something. This is the column, so OI change percent. So basically, when we want to pick up a stock for long built up or short built up, we'll see there where the OI percentage change is high, right? So basically, we look at that, but this 22 percentage just does not, when the market opens, it does not directly go to 22% or 10% or 5%. So over a period of time, what would have happened is, like Balakrishna Industry would have, in the morning it would have opened, there would have been 2% increase in OI change percent, and then 5 percentage, then 6 percentage, then 10, 12, so on. Over a period of time, the OI percentage keeps increasing. So when there's an increase in OI percentage, at the same time when there is an increase in price, so basically we see long build up, right? So we need to we need the entry of the stock has to be at the right time, not not that we open this at 3, we come to this page at 3 o'clock and see that, okay, Balakrishna Industry has 22.46 percentage of OI change, so let me go and buy this stock. So that's not the way. Or let's say Indus Bank is at 7.89 7.81 OI change percentage, and that's not the right way to immediately jump it. The timing has to be perfect. So that is the reason I came up with this OI built up tracker or the dashboard. So what generally it does is, so what I do is, in the when the market opens, I have this dashboard open, and I start looking at what are the top 3 to 5 symbols that are featuring here under the long buildup. If the market is bullish, I'll be focusing on the long. If the market is bearish, I'll be focusing on the short. So what generally I do is, like, for example, look at the top 3 to 5 stocks names that are featuring here. So for example, like Bata India was featuring here, and the initial, when the market opened by 9 around 9:20, the OI percentage change was at 3.86. Then by 9:25 it was 6. Then immediately from 6 it jumped to 12, 13, so on. So same way in the Balakrishna Industry, we had a OI percentage of 5.37. Then by 9:30 it was 970. So we need to add this under the watch list, and then at the same time we will have to go to the future OI analysis. Let's say we have selected Bata India or Balakrishna India or Trent or Lal Patlab. Okay, so we will have to go to future OI analysis. Now look at granular detail. What is really happening? How much of long build up is being done? What is the volume that is being done? Okay, so for that is the reason we'll have to go to future OI. We will have to make use of future OI analysis. So first let me explain what is future OI analysis option, and then probably I will relate this dashboard with future OI analysis, and help to decode that, right? So this is the future OI analysis tab. So this page is designed in such a way that at any given point of time we will have two instrument data of two instrument display on this is the partition. So on the left hand side, bank nifty instrument is always constant. So generally when I started trading, I was very keen in bank nifty, so I wanted to look at bank nifty all the time by default, and at the same time I wanted to have another instrument. For example, when I'm trading in bank nifty and I want to look at let's say how is HDFC uh, HDFC Bank performing. So I'll click on that, and so I know that, okay, so to supplement bank nifty, HDFC is also on the long side, and there's a lot of short covering, shorts are being covered, so that is a bullish sign, right? So by default, when you open this page, you will have the bank nifty and nifty on the bank nifty on the left side and the nifty on the right side. So you will have at any point of time we will have a quick comparison of both the index or bank nifty index, and probably you want to choose some other stock, you can choose the stock from the drop down, and you the data for that would be displayed. Now looking at what are the columns we have here is the update time. Okay, so the update time, then we have the latest or the current total OI, then the OI change, that is the change in OI which happened today. All right, so that information we have, then the percentage of OI change, so how much percentage of OI change, that information is available here. Then we have LTP, then we have the total volume, then we have LTP change, OI difference. Okay, between 230 to 330, what was the difference in OI? So there were if you remember, increase in price and decrease in OI is short covering. So this is what generally it represents. So this is how these are the columns, and I have designed in such, because earlier when I started developing this tool on Excel spreadsheet, I used to have one sheet, one tab for 5-minute interval, then one tab for 15, and then one tab for 16. So it was very difficult to shuffle between tabs. Then I decided, like when I was moving to web-based interface, I wanted to have complete information in one page, so it gives me a complete snapshot. So on the top we have the higher frame 60 minutes, and just below that we have the 15 minutes interval, and just below that we have the 5-minute interval. This is more than sufficient to give us a quick picture of what is happening here. So always higher time frame has the highest priority, because that will have less noise, and then you have 15 minutes and 5 minutes. That depends on your trading style. So if for example you prefer to trade in 15 minutes interval, then you can look at 15 minutes. You look at the hourly time frame, and look at how is the what is the OI interpretation happening. So I generally look at this column because this is in lots, so it is easier to understand. So anything which is more than 1000 for bank nifty, for example, let me look at this in 5 minutes interval. Okay, anything which is more than 900 or anything more than 1000, it's a very good or a strong I would say sign of particular movement. So for example, like let's look at from 9th start of morning. So from 9:30 we had 900 plus long build up, then we had a short build up of 110, which is negligible, then we have 1000 plus, which is 1000 feet long build up, so 700 long unwinding. So somebody who bought it here, or somebody who had purchased before previous day, they had closed out, they have closed their book profit, that is long unwinding. So whenever the volume is less, that is the time when I try to stay away, or for example, instead of looking at volume, what I look at is the OI change percentage. So if the OI change percentage is fraction, for example, when I say fraction, so if you look at this is the column of OI change percentage, right? So if you look at here, it says 1 point, so OI has changed 1.56 percentage. Okay, then at 925C it is again the whole number is 1, and the decimal point is like 0.56 to 0.75. So this is an area where I try to stay away and look for strong or aggressive. For example, like if there is a change in the whole number, so for example from 1.75 we have change of 3, which is good sign. There is also increase the OI difference. What we see here is 1000 plus, which is good. But the next, what I would have expected here was something like from 3.5 to let's say even 4 or something, but it didn't happen. From 3.5 to it again went into decimal, like 3.5%, 52 percentage to 3.68. That the reason there was no aggressiveness. So you can see because longs were unwinding. Okay, their long positions where volume was stopped. So when we have something like this, was the from start of morning, this was the highest OI change percent of 3.68. So I'll again wait for the OI change percentage to reflect same or something more than that, right? So that is where I try to enter the trade, or at least take decision. So from 3.68, so we can see that 3.97 came at 955, and we had a volume of 3.367. So I'll further wait. Then we had 4.62, then we have 4. So now you can see that the momentum is slowly picking up, right? So 3.97, then we have 4.62, 4.9, 6.9. So this is picking up the aggressiveness of the momentum is picking. So this is where, so I generally what I would do is, when I'm looking at if you have been following my Twitter handle, you'll see that I would wait till 9:30, 9:45, or even 10. That is where I start providing information about like what is happening, because the first 30 to 45 minutes is something which is not that aggressive, especially for bank nifty. Sometimes the move happens rapidly, and it will trade flat for the entire day, or sometime there a lot of unwinding would happen, short build-up will happen. So we'll have to wait for till like 9:45, 10 to get to understand the complete picture. So now you can see that from 4.96, so there is an aggressiveness, or there is a the OI change percentage number is happening in hold. And if you look at the volume now corresponds to like 700,000, 800. So this is a good sign. So this now tells us that, and by uh, and by now, so it's already 10:20. So along with this set of data, we will combine this with our technical if you have your own existing trade setup, we will take this information, we will combine that, and then we will make trade decision. So there are few more what do you say options which are available before jumping into that. So this, for example, we'll have to look at magic level chart, we'll have to look at uh, OI spread, or we need to look at OI trend. So all those information we will look at before completely jumping into trade. So now we have covered the uh, future OI analysis section. So on the left, let me just re-summarize. On the left, we have the bank nifty index, which is always constant, and the right side you have the flexibility of choosing. For example, you want to look at any other stock future, you can click on that, and you will have that information updated on the right hand side. And yeah, so from the top you can go back and select nifty, and you can click on submit, and you will have that piece of information. So this we covered about OI buildup, we covered about dashboard, OI analysis. Next is the OI chart. So what is OI chart? It is the graphical representation of OI analysis, what we just saw. So similar to like we have the option of choosing the instrument, and by default it is bank nifty, which is selected here, and you have the labels here. The latest OI is highlighted using this color, and the LTP is highlighted using this purple color. So you can see that the LTP is also increasing, the open interest is also increasing. This is very classic example of long buildup. So increase in open interest, increase in LTP. So this is a classic example of long buildup. So we have here I have given OI chart in two interval, which is 15-minute interval and 5-minute interval. I think this is more than sufficient, because 5-minute has too much of what you call noise into the system, and 15-minute is good enough to understand the longer time frame. So at the moment I've given this, and you have similar to the other pages, we have the option to choose the historical data, and you can choose the date, and you can click on the date, and you will be able to look at, for example, the how did the bank nifty perform on 14th. So this is how the price has kept crashing, and so increase on open interest and decrease in price. So this is a classic example of short buildup. So if you again want to switch to live, you will have to click on live, and you will have to click on submit. You will be able to see the data. All right, so we have covered this, and the most interesting, which is the magic level chart. Currently this is for bank nifty index. I'm yet to start working on nifty index. So currently this is bank nifty index. So why do I call this magic level? Because this is one chart which will give me a quick glance of what is actually happened, or what is happening, what are the support level, what are the resistance level. I don't have to go anywhere and manually plot those information anywhere. So this chart plots all the required information that I need to understand the support and resistance. So for example, um, this blue line is the LTP of the Bank Nifty index. And if you look at so we have the label, so let me go with the labels. So this is the index. Then we have maximum OI of call 1. So this is the maximum OI of call, which I am calling it here as highest C writing level 1. Okay, so this is the first highest C writing level 1. Then we have the highest C writing level 2, which is the max OIC. So this is the first resistance, and then the next resistance, as on date today, they have the highest resistance 33,500. So if you remember from my Twitter update, so earlier the resistance was at 33,000 level. So both the call writer as well as the put writer, we are holding this level. And then when they realized that okay, the index is making an up move, so they closed the shorts, short position that they had created at 33,000 level, they had closed those level, and then they started writing at, I mean, they already had 33,500, and now they started adding at 34,500. So tomorrow, if the market sentiment is bullish and everything continues, if the trend continues, I think we should be able to see an up move from that from this 33,580, since the second highest level of resistance at 34,500. So probably 1,000 points up move we should be able to see tomorrow. So that depends on how the market opens tomorrow. And if you look at the bot at the same time, interesting is this is the put writing. Okay, if you look at the maximum put OI put 1, this is the maximum put writing at 33,000 level, and since morning they have not moved. So 33, and their support is at 32,000. So if my point is, if the bulls were in control, they should have moved this 32,000 somewhere to, like, I don't know, 32,500, at least somewhere here. But they have not moved. They have just kept this highest put writing level 2 is at 3200. So this is very strange for me. So anyway, this is what the data talks about. And this black dotted line is the pivot value. And then we have, this is the previous day low, this is the previous day high, and then we have this resistance R1, and I think the support S1 is also at the highest PE rating 2. So if you look at this, all we have the pivot R1, resistance 1, support on previous day high, previous day low. I have plotted both, because earlier when I started, I had just one level of highest P rating, but I didn't have a picture of, like, if this breaks, so what would be the next, or if the support breaks, what is the next level of highest P ratings, P rating or the call rating. So then I added this two, and that's the reason I call this a magic level chart, because this gives me quick snapshot or quick overview of, like, what is happening dynamically in the market. If this like I said earlier, so earlier the highest call writing as well as put writing was at 33,000, and they moved by almost by closer market, they moved this level, they covered their shorts, and the highest C writing has now moved to 33,500. So we'll have to just wait and watch what happens on 18th. So this is the, so I look at this tab, then based on that I take it along with my technical setup. I see where is this, I mean, I know where is the support here, right? I don't look at any other support. I know where is my support, I know where is my pivot level, and then I supplement my data with the options. So now we have covered the futures. We'll now go to the option segment. Okay, first let me start with the options OI trend. So this is the heart, I would say, of the options. The reason why I say the heart of the core, because this helps me to understand how powerful or how strong or how much amount of call OI writing or put OI writing has happened, and who is in control of the market. So So by default, when you click on options OI trend, uh, what generally happen is, I think, yeah. So market is around, so seven strikes above the at the money, and seven strikes below at the money. So total of 15 strikes, 15 active strikes are selected by default, and based on that, the data is updated. So this is one way of looking at the data. What I generally do is I click on select strike, and by default all the strikes are selected. All I have to do is click on this select and click on submit. So once I do that, I have all the what do you call, change change in open interest, sum of change in open interest of all the calls, and the sum of change in open interest of all the puts. So I have that cumulative, I mean, of all the call and puts, and then I have a picture of, if you remember, in the morning it was like, see, if you look at the call, it is like 3 lakhs. Okay, so uh, on the call side, if you look at 3,53,000, whereas on the put side it is like 61 lakhs. So since the morning, the put writers were so aggressive that it was very clear that it is going to be a bull's day, because they have been writing puts heavily. This kind of data I have never seen in the last 1 month at least. And if you look at the difference of call and put is like 91 lakhs, 88 lakhs. So this is very critical. So this tells me who is in charge, either is it call or put. And this is the percentage change. So 84, from 1,91,000 difference to 11 lakhs, so it was 84% change. So basically this percentage change of the difference is what is plotted here. So I come to this, I select all the strikes and click on this to give me a summary of all change in OI of all the strikes of call, and change in OI of all the sum of change in OI of all the puts. And this gives me a picture. So I generally look at 5-minute interval, because I that gives me complete control. So if you look at all the shots we observed, they were just after 2:45 they started covering everything, and you look at there were no more shots left in the system. So that is what the data represents. So this is about options OI trend. So this is some more, I think many times I've posted snapshot of this call OI and put OI change in the Twitter handle. So this is the options OI trend. Then we have OI sprut. So similar to futures OI buildup, we have 4 quadrant: long buildup, short buildup, short covering, and long unwinding. But here we have only 2 instruments: bank nifty and nifty, because the OI spread of stocks cannot be easily generated. That requires a lot of data to calculate. So currently, so on this page, by default it's bank nifty. So if bank nifty is selected, and we have the OI sprut, or the classification of long buildup, short covering, and long unwinding. So the columns are more or less similar to what we had in future OI buildup. We have this instead of the stock symbol, we have the strike. Then we have the call option type, like the call or the put. Then we have the previous day OI, latest OI, change in OI percentage, LTP change percentage, LTP net volume, and the volume. So we can see from this quadrant, we can see that it is all calls reflecting under the long buildup. So basically, since it is a bullish day, so all are on the long side of their buying calls, and put are heavily being written on the they're shorting puts. Basically puts, when do we short puts? Basically when we are bullish we try to short puts, and that act as the support. So this is long build up, short build up. This is the OI put page. Then we have OI analysis, similar to future OI analysis. uh, Under the instrument we have bank nifty and nifty, and when once let's one, by default, when you open this page, for bank nifty at the money strike rate is selected. If you go to nifty, you will have all the the at the money strike rate is 14,900, so you can select 14,900 from here in case if it is not selected, and you can click on submit. You will have that data. So on the options OI analysis sheet, on the left hand side we have the call related data, and on the right hand side we have the put related data. The columns are again more or less similar. Instead of the instead of this what do you call, we have the time of the update, we have the latest OI change percentage. We have the strike, 33 of the selected strike rate. We have the call C 33,500 on this side, and the P 33,500 on this side. So we have again multi time frame, 60 minutes, 15 minutes, and 5 minutes. Yeah. So if you look at the higher time frame, it is all long build up since start of the morning, and 33,500, 33,500, which is something which is trading at the start of market 129. So LTP LTP has changed from 129 to 394 by close of market. All because of long build up and short covering. Yeah. So on any on any trending day, be it a long build up or short build up, so let's look at long build up. So when there is longs are creating position, we need to equally see shorts are also writing heavily on the put side. So that gives us a confidence of the aggressiveness of the call writers and the put buyers. Yeah, aggressiveness of the put writers and call buyers. So this is about options OI analysis, and the last option is the options OI chart. So this is again a graphical representation of the option. So whatever strike rate that is selected here, you will have the data, and this is the latest OI, and this is the LTP. So if you can look at after 225, you can see that the LTP started all because the short started covering. Okay, so the long built up, the short started covering, and the LTP prices started moving. So this was because of the short covering, the price rallied. So this is options of 30 option, call option 33,000. This is the put option 33,000. And if you look at when on a bullish stage, generally what happens is the participant, they keep writing put. So if you look at there is an increase in put, and there is a decrease in LTP. So short build up on the put side, long build up on the call side. And the last chart, this is the additional chart what we are given for call is the crossover. So crossover of call CE and the put CE. So if you look at here, the when the put OI generally crosses the call, when the put OI crosses the call OI, so it is generally termed as a bullish. So after 12:30, based for this strike, if you can look at, there are more number of put writing compared to more number of call writing. So basically after 12:05, it was if you wait for this crossover, which is called as golden crossover, you'll be able to identify strike rates, and you'll be able to take position on the long side or short side depending on what crossover is happening. If for example P is coming down and call is going up, then probably you'll have to enter into put side. Alright, so this was the system, and I think I've covered everything. So What is left is I'm working on the option change. So I need to work on that. Then I'm working on OI statistic. There are quite a list what I have, and I've been working on that. And yeah, and that brings us to the end of this session. So if you have any questions, you can post. I'll be posting this video on the YouTube. Yeah, so that's the slide. So I'll be posting this video on the YouTube, and I'll be sharing this link on the Twitter channel. So you can visit my YouTube channel, and if you have any queries, you can post there, and I'll try to respond. You can start from tomorrow. I'll start activating the trial pack. It is automatic. All you have to do is create an account, activate your email address, validate your email address, and make a payment of 25 INR for the trial pack, and your trial pack will be active. So looking forward for more queries, looking forward for more interaction, and happy trading. Thank you all. Thank you for your support. Bye bye.